Hey, Cecil, why don't you tell them why you got trolls? Hey, retard. Why don't you realize that everybody that's great has trolls? Hey, I heard Ryan Upchurch is looking for some farmer help.
Really? And you're the right person for the job. Right, let's put your best foot forward here, Cecil.
I grow tomatoes on my porch.
Oh dear Lord.
He's already fucked up.
Yeah, but I'd also be a good
babysit.
Bro!
security guard.
I don't know what kind of PCP, LSD, whatever you smoked, but you need to call the ambulance right now. You finna have a heart attack.
You know what? I'm going to continue to strive to ignore these people. I'm going to continue to try. I'm not going to say I'm going to. I said I'm going to try because that's all I can do. Because I see the results are coming in my face right here. Coming to my face. Coming in my face don't sound right.
Money brings problems, man. Money will make your mom sell her ass.
No, I don't think so. Fucking hell, Cecil. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to revisit Fraggle Rock, Cecil, because last week he done a few unhinged rants, which is kind of rare these days because he's basically doing cover songs and he's kind of avoiding his whole controversy. And anybody doesn't know, Cecil Wayne Carroll, he was also known as High Street Paranormal on YouTube. And many years ago, some rapper that he knew kind of threatened to out him for doing inappropriate things to children he was babysitting. And ever since then, Cecil has been trying to fight his case. But what happened was, Cecil decided he would step in there first and he would do some videos explaining the whole situation, which basically was an admission that it actually did happen. And for a while, you see, first of all, when Cecil made the videos, he thought he was going to get some sympathy because he basically was blaming the victims. This is a kind of a common thing with these kinds of people that have kind of narcissistic behaviour kind of thing. It's never their fault, it's always somebody else's. So Cecil stood up for him, tried to stand up for himself by doing more videos and giving out even more information and more alarming stuff. And then he discovered, this isn't actually working. I'm not getting sympathy for this. So I'm going to have to do something else here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that all the videos that he had done on this subject were faked. That he didn't say them at all. Somebody altered the videos and made him say things that he didn't say. Now, those videos were examined multiple times by multiple different people. We don't see any of these cuts. These were, a lot of the time, were live streams. There's no alteration in audio or video or not, thanks on. And he kind of picked the wrong place to claim all these things because his genre for a while was the paranormal. Now he keeps throwing around the word paranormal research. He's not a paranormal researcher. He just copies what other people do on YouTube. But some of us are and were paranormal researchers, and a lot of the time when it comes to the paranormal, there's different kind of sections in it. My section was actually analysing audio. I'm not a professional. I'm not an audio engineer. I do have connections that are audio engineers, but I'm not going to send Cecil's videos to them Because if they have analysed that audio, they're responsible. They don't want. I don't want them I don't want to put pressure on them to associate themselves with Cecil or the content that he had put out and that. So, you know, but I could, and we know what the answer would be, that the videos were never altered and that. But every so often there's a bit of a spat. Now recently Cecil put out a short, and it was something to do with a challenge or something, covering a certain rap artist. And I'm going to I have it lined up here, so I'm going to put this on. It's over there. Why is it over on screen 3? Oops. 1 second, guys. I have 3 screens, and when I clicked on it, it went over to screen 3, and I'm on screen 1. Here we go. This is hilarious. Sometimes Cecil does goofy things, but in this video, Cecil also does what he commonly does. Now, some people may be shocked about it, but we're kind of used to it. One of my friends, one of the people that have been trying to get this guy to take accountability for his actions, has been slandered in one of these little videos that Cecil done, and the slander is quite serious. I was slandered with the same thing by the same guy. Basically, Cecil accused most of us of doing the crimes that he'd done. This is how dumb he is. But anyway, this leads up to the story here. Oh my God. You see what Cecil was doing, he went over to this guy Millie. I don't know if it's the same guy from the 80s, you know, girl, you know it's true. I don't know if it's that guy or it's somebody else. I'm probably way off track here. But one of my friends found out where he was getting the track from to see if Cecil would make a comment. You see, Cecil has turned off his comments on his YouTube channel because he won't take accountability. He's kind of hiding. And yeah, when Cecil made a comment on this other channel, that's when things kicked off, because my friend made a comment under Cecil's channel warning people that this guy admitted to doing things to children, basically, and a link to the confession video, which I have on this channel. I put it up about a couple of days ago, or last week, or 2 weeks ago, and a number of different other videos that lines up to that. Not an awful lot of people watch it, but I have a new sort of viewer base that probably doesn't completely understand what's going on here. But when Cecil's the type of person, and I think Aaron Smith Level is kind of the same in that way, when something goes into his head, he has to talk about it, whether he's prepared or not, and sometimes what comes out is pure and utter comedy. So the first video, you know he's in a hurry, because sometimes, despite being on YouTube for years, he'll press record and the video is sideways or something like that. I didn't alter that because when I'm covering Cecil, I don't want to alter the videos too much, because I don't want to be accused of faking. But if one of these videos is taken down and there's a court case and that, I want to document it properly, sort of thing. So, you know, because he did come up with some serious slander here. But anyway, we're going to go into the first video. Oh, it's over in the flip. Hold on a sec.
You people are mentally fucked.
You know what's happening here. You see, do you know when you when you start the video, you introduce yourself or whatever, and you say, "How's everybody doing today?" Cecil, on the other hand, you know he hasn't got any followers anymore, because he just completely comes on and insults everybody. It's flipping comedy gold. You people are mentally fucked in the head. You know, and he started talking I think he started talking before he pressed record. But when you see what happens here.
You people are mentally fucked in the head, dude.
Is that right,
All
Cecil?
I did was I did a one-verse challenge from Millie's one-verse challenge on Lean On Me song. And Millie's is a humongous, famous rapper. And I did...
And you're cloud chasing again. Cecil, you've already deleted a number of channels. And... to be honest with you, some of your cover songs sounds like a cat that's been kicked, if you know what I mean. You can't hit the high notes, which is kind of funny in that. But Cecil doesn't think that we can find him in that, but somebody did. Funny enough, somebody actually looked into, you know, Cecil covering this and then tracing it back to the original video, and then Cecil has made a comment which means that this person could actually communicate with him, because he's turned off engagement in all social media.
I did it just to promote myself a little bit.
Oh, you did?
And
alright,
lo and
yeah.
behold, these retarded motherfuckers who I ain't paid no attention to went over there on Millie's fucking YouTube channel trying to tell him to watch my confession video. The confession video is fake, dude.
But he was just trying to promote you, Cecil. But the thing is, Cecil has said that this confession video is fake for years, and we give him plenty of opportunities to prove that. And do you know how he proved it? He basically avoided the confession video altogether and went over to Random News and says, this guy fakes his content because he edits videos. Now, Random News, I'll leave a link to Random News at the end of this video. Random News, he does kind of, he adds humour to the whole story, because that attracts viewers. But in between little scenes, you got these palate cleansers, because, you know, Random News' videos is about an hour, and sometimes it's good to have a palate cleanser. So he's made a skit or a funny advertisement and uses certain clips and adds them together and stuff like that. But we know they're parodies. But this was Cecil. What Cecil done was basically took those parodies and says, look, this guy proved that this guy is proven that he fakes videos. But when you look, read under the description, this is some of this stuff is parody. You know, so he has plenty of time to fight his case. But very often when a person like this is accused of something or is challenged about something, when they resort to name calling, that's when you know you've got them. They've got nothing. You'll see some of these police interrogation videos where they start off nice, get the person kind of comfortable with you, and then very, very slowly tighten the screws. Challenge them a little bit, and challenge them a little bit more, and then it comes to a point where this guy can't keep up his act and loses his temper and gets frustrated, and he lashes out. That's what CECIL does.
I cannot believe you're still out there with copycat fucking accounts of me, still promoting this stupid shit. You really don't have a life. You really don't have a life. There's real child molesters out there right now going after kids for real, and you guys are over here harassing me, an innocent person.
For the new people, it comes to a point where I just don't argue with that, because the proof and the evidence is so damning. It's just you just can't argue it. But CECIL had plenty of time to even make up a defence, and he couldn't even do that. Even if he just filled us up with pure and utter bullshit, he just couldn't do it. All he can do is say that the video is edited. Sometimes he veers off and he makes a different excuse and say that he lied on the video. But if you put those two excuses together, they don't really gel, do they? There was a number of other different excuses, including that he possibly was sleepwalking, which, when you add it to the other two excuses, it just makes things... they don't stick. They're contradictions, all three of them. So, yeah, and he can't argue his way out of these things. So all he does is call us all sorts of names.
Trying so hard to make people think I touch kids. You're mental, bro. There's something wrong with you. Wasting your time on little bitty old me, nobody asked me, wanting my attention so bad. Do you think big famous ass Millies gives a fuck about some fake trolling ass fake confession video just because I did a one verse little short video on his fucking song?
Not really. If he's a famous artist, he's probably very busy. But a lot of his viewers might click on the video. And, you know, that would be a warning to stay a mile away from you. Do you know? There was a couple of years ago when I actually struggled to make the video. Because CECIL had a neighbour who was a lot younger than him, but this guy wanted to have a music career sort of thing, and CECIL was sort of working with him. It was kind of weird. But later on, this guy decides to talk about him online and that, and it angered CECIL. CECIL grabbed a camera one night or one day and went over to his house. Now, if he released a video confronting him, trying to get him to stop making videos on him, he pretty much would have doxed him. But this guy had, you know, sort of later on in years, had a girlfriend, and CECIL apparently was stalking this girl. This girl came on and made her own video, and in the middle of the video she broke down because she grew up with trauma, and it kind of opened up a wound and stuff like that. It was flipping difficult, and it brought a new perspective to the creepy behaviour of CECIL. You know, we joke about and stuff like that, but in between it is flipping serious, and we will talk about it in a serious way. But, you know, sometimes when he has an unhinged kitchen rant that he hasn't prepared, he comes out with the funniest stuff. And sometimes he comes out and he incriminates himself.
You guys are stupid. You don't even...
Well, we're not filming sideways. We actually prepared to make our videos. You got unhinged and you press record, and now you're filming yourself sideways.
I realize that dude is a superstar.
Right. And you want to be a superstar like him.
He's not going to pay no attention to me, and he's not going to pay no attention to you.
So you're wasting your time. You're basically wasting your time. So why are you wasting your time, CECIL?
You're wasting your time, you fucking idiot.
Exactly.
See, this is why I don't make no videos responding to you people.
You're doing one now. That's what you're doing now. You couldn't even wait and calm down and think about what you want to say, which sometimes I think is actually funny. But carry on.
See, that's why I turned the comments off.
No. Don't be a liar now, CECIL. Well, it's very hard to tell him not to be a liar because he lies all the time. But the reason why he sees to turn the comments off is, I explained it earlier on, he's running from taking accountability. And, yeah, he has no counter-argument for our arguments, so he resorts to name-calling. And he's too much of a coward to actually debate us. He tried once or twice, and it was a complete and utter comedy show. Because he just basically lost his nerve. Yeah, he's running. If he was an innocent person, he wouldn't have to turn the comments off. He wouldn't have to explain himself every day.
You knew you going over there leaving comments that it was going to get my attention. That's why you did it.
Exactly. That's why people make comments. CECIL should be doing it the other way. That's why they do it. But you see, now you said you're ignoring everybody. You're not doing it now, are you? You fell for it. You went for the carrot, and you know, and here now we have the comedy, which is flipping brilliant sometimes.
You're dumb. No life having ass motherfucker. Going after an innocent person because my videos were manipulated over 10 years ago that you're still using against me, calling me something I'm not.
Well, you're calling us something that we're not because you're now calling us a liar. I have the raw videos, put some of them together a couple of weeks ago, and it's your voice. A couple of years ago, I put it through voice analyzing software where I compared his voice to the voices on the video, and they're his voice. I went through a spectrogram to see if there was any cuts, because sometimes when there's cuts, it's very difficult sometimes not to cut in the middle of a high pitch, which means it would show up on a graph as a sudden a high rise and then all of a sudden a drop when a sound wave goes like that. Well, when you see a sudden bang down like that, that's where there's a cut. I didn't see any of those. I'm not going to get into the technical details of it.
While there's like hundreds of thousands of real predators all over social media really going after kids out here.
It's funny he said that because a couple of years ago he was arguing the same thing. And then he was saying, There's a child predator 2 doors down that way. There's one behind Shell Station. There's one 6 doors down this way, or 5 doors down this way. How come you know where all the child predators are, Cecil, in your neighbourhood? It's kind of fishy.
And you ain't bothering them because you're too busy being distracted, being obsessed with me all day.
We're not obsessed with you all day because you actually don't put out content that we can react to. Not like we used to be able to do. You know? Because you're running.
So you're really not fighting for nobody. Because I don't have anybody saying I did anything to them.
I'm saying you did it. Master Shredder's saying it. Order Magnitude's saying it. RV Charity Drive saying it. Random News is saying it. And a number of other peoples are saying it. We have never, in the years that we've been doing this, we have never been messed with. We didn't get trolls. The reason why I'm getting trolls now is because I'm covering somebody else, but that's a different story. But we have hardly ever, I think maybe once, from some unhinged lunatic says that Cecil is innocent, but everybody else agrees with every single one of us and disagrees with him. Which kind of, it doesn't look good, does it? There's nobody backing Cecil up. There was one point where Cecil had 2 followers, 2 diehard followers. Now, we knew one had some learning difficulties, let's just say. Not quite sure about the other one, but the other one hung on for a good while and is now never spoken about. So maybe that person decided, yeah, I think I'm backing the wrong horse here. I think I need to get away from Cecil. Because we've been trying to tell her that all along. And she had backed this guy for years. But there's no sign of her anymore. But then again, she can't interact because all the comments are turned off. You see, Cecil claimed that he cared about his viewers. But by hiding and turning off the comments to block us, he's also blocked his viewers, the few that actually supported him. It's, yeah. It's not, he doesn't think properly, does he, before he does things. You see, the thing is too, when Cecil started blocking us, when he did have comments up, what he would do then is, he'd just keep blocking us. And when that sort of didn't work, because people could make new accounts and stuff, he decided he would turn the comments off. Do you know? If he was innocent, he wouldn't have to do that. Do you know?
You know why? Because I don't have any victims, you stupid ass people.
I'm a victim. You are actually going to create another victim which you victimized before in what I'm going to cover in the next video, which is the next clip I'm going to show you. Cecil is talking, I know he's talking about the children. Now, what we think is happening here, Cecil said a long time ago that he tried to reach out to these kids and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to family situations and situations like that, there's a good chance that sometimes the family tries to silence everything, because coming out with these kinds of things, even though there's victims involved, kind of puts the family in a kind of a situation. Do you know where people talk? And if there's any hint of anything like this happening, it sort of marks the whole family. So what they try to do is to try to shut the victims up within the family to stop it spreading. I think that's what might have happened, you know. But there wasn't only these 2 girls. Later on, he said when he was something like 21 or something like that. I can't remember what age he was. I think he was 21. But It was something to do with his cousin's kid. There was a similar situation, and I'm thinking, not only was there one incident, there was another one. So, there's one backing up the other kind of thing, the same kind of behaviour, and the same excuses again. The child that's the victim turns into the perpetrator. The first two girls were 8 and 10, and they done things to him, not he done things to them. That's his excuse. An 8 and a 10-year-old, he was 17. It's just, no.
And this is all I'm ever going to have to say about this shit.
But you don't never say anything else, really. You just keep going around in circles, and we tell you it's bullshit.
Because I ain't acknowledged you people in months, almost a half a year, and you still talking about me.
It's good to see you, Cecil. Well, no, not really, no. My stomach turns every time I have to cover this guy. But I'm one of these people, there's a number of us. We're not going to let the story die away or fade away because of, popularity and video views or whatever. This isn't about video views. It's not about YouTube channels. It's not about getting subscribers. When in relation to this, we're trying to keep the story relevant. Cecil wants to hide it. We keep bringing it up. He sweeps it under the carpet. We lift the carpet every time. I know it's repetitive, but we have to do it.
Still promoting this bullshit video. You're lame. You're a lifeless loser.
You see, instead of saying, you're still promoting this fake video, instead of name calling, he could have give us a reason why it is fake. But the excuses that he say that it's fake, they never pan out. He claimed at one stage that there was one of these digital alarm clocks in the background. He says, well, the time changed in the clock in the background, which means there was a cut. No, it went from 1 minute to the next minute. Cecil's that dumb. He's scraping the bottom of the barrel for excuses, and sometimes they're so stupid they're kind of funny. He thinks we're all stupid, and he's the brainy one. He sort of is in his own sort of bubble and that, and we're all stupid. Which means he can say whatever he wants, and he thinks people will fall for it, and then he gets frustrated when we don't.
Period.
Yeah, see, every time there's no end to it. It just stops. He just doesn't make any effort anymore. Now, where's this going to pop up? It's going to pop over here.
Troll account.
You see, he doesn't even start the video. He's flipping press record and he's talking straight away, and possibly starting to talk before he's even pressed record. You might think the picture is a bit brown, and you might think it's an old-fashioned camera. It's not. His house is full of tar, and instead of flipping cleaning the tar off his walls from smoking, he's on the internet flipping calling us out. And this is the one where the slander comes in. So, Master Shredder, you might want to report the video, and that might piss him off.
Found that I left some comments over there on a couple of Millie's account. So, this motherfucker left 15 comments with 5 different fake accounts. And he said,
You see, the thing is, Cecil was trying to hide for a while, and you see, Cecil couldn't help himself but flip and respond to everything. And it was either he got into some legal trouble with police or something, or his wife, who keeps telling him to shut the fuck up because he keeps incriminating himself. At one stage, when he did go live, and he did invite people like myself to go up, which I didn't do, some of my friends did, it went pear-shaped very quickly. And they were just back from a camping trip, and, you know, it was you know, Cecil was in a good mood. So he decided, you know, I'm going to talk to these people, you know, and, one condition, you're not allowed to lie, I'm not allowed to lie. And the conversations, you know, started off, respectful enough. You know, how are you, Cecil? How are things? Blah, blah, blah. And then Cecil started answering questions from people that came up live. And there was a guy called RB Charity Drive, and he was on the live. He was on the other screen there, and they were talking and stuff like that. And then I'm under the impression that RV was kind of thinking that Cecil is starting to fill me up with just pure and utter bullshit. So RB kept a calm head, but he came back later on with a big surprise. It just completely destroyed the live stream. He lost his head. Flipping, a wife was screaming and wanting the live to end and stuff like that. And she threatened afterwards that if Cecil didn't stop making these videos, that she was going to leave him. So maybe there was some sort of conversation like that happen the last 6 months or so, because Cecil hasn't spoken an awful lot about this at all. This is the first time in a long time.
Cecil, why don't you tell them why you got trolls? Hey, retard. Why don't you realize that everybody that's great has trolls?
Oh, I'm going to clip that. That's flipping funny.
Do you realize that everybody that's great comments with 5 different fake accounts? And he said, hey Cecil, why don't you tell them why you got trolls? Hey, retard. Why don't you realize that everybody that's great has trolls?
See, Cecil now is every so often Cecil is the greatest person in the world, and he tries to express that, which I find very flippin' funny. But it kind of shows that he is a flippin' massive narcissist. He's the greatest. Everybody else is below him. Everybody else is less intelligent than he is. It gets funny very quickly when it comes to this kind of conversation. Now, the overall thing, everything behind it all is flipping disgusting, and that's why we keep our foot on his neck and that. But sometimes in between there is comedy in it, you know?
Won't you open your fucking mind and realize that anybody that's great has retarded trolls like you who obsessively troll people?
I stopped in the middle of it, but I just fucking...
As trolls. Won't you open your fucking mind and realize that anybody that's great has retarded trolls like you who obsessively troll people?
I was about to take a flippin' sip of the tea, and I would have flippin' drowned if I did. That was close. That was close.
All of your friends, everybody you associate with on YouTube are fucking trolls. Why don't you tell people why you're so obsessed with me? Why I went a whole 6 months, a half a year without ever responding to anything you guys make about me.
Because you're basically hiding. You won't take accountability for your actions. And you admit it to me what you've done years ago, and I tried to help you. Because you didn't seem to be able to navigate, when you came out with those videos, which was personal stuff, you opened a massive can of worms. And I understand that you had a rough childhood, blah, blah, blah. But if you were remorseful, and I asked you, were you remorseful? And he says, yeah, when I was that age, I didn't have a proper upbringing and that, and I done some stupid shit. And, I said in the comments, basically, well, you've admitted to it now. Why don't you make a public video and apologise to everybody that you've accused of doing the things that you have done, and move on with your life. Be positive, make changes in your life, then people will leave you alone. Not everybody will, but I always promise that, if Cecil changed his life, I just leave him alone. But he won't take accountability. He still blames the victims. That's the hardest part for me, is the victims who were 8 and 10, and I can't remember what the age of the other girl was. They were all accused of doing these things to Cecil, which Cecil, it wasn't the case. It was Cecil was 17, he was babysitting, he was supposed to be looking after them, not doing these other bad things, if you know what I'm saying. And the thing that bugs me the most is the victims getting the blame. The victims have been getting the blame for the last 10 years, and this is the serious side to this. We will stand with the victims. I don't know who the victims are. I've never seen the victims, but I'm still standing with them. Some of my other friends do know who these people are. I don't.
And you still, every single day I hear, talk about me, and I don't watch none of it.
That's not true, Cecil, so you're lying again. You have had no updates on your channel in the last while. You've done cover songs, so we don't feel the need to cover what you have to say. We took a little bit of a break ourselves and then came back, sort of thing. So you claim that you're not looking at our videos. That's a lie, isn't it, Cecil? Because very often you say, I never watch your videos, but then you quote things that are said in the videos that you claim you didn't watch. We're not stupid, Cecil. See, these are the things that Cecil trips up on himself, and sometimes, it's kind of funny.
You gotta find a loophole where, oh, there he is. We can leave a comment under his comment. Now we'll get him.
Yeah, because you're hiding. You wouldn't have this problem if you weren't hiding. And you would not be hiding if you were innocent. It's not because of trolls. Famous people that have done nothing wrong get trolled all the time. They just deal with them. But they don't flip and cut off their whole audience like you have. Not that you've had any audience that actually back you up. The people that watch you are the people that criticize you. Every one of them. Because you say things. And then you claim that it's not you saying them, that it's altered afterwards when things go wrong. As simple as that. Cecil is kind of level Cyrix kind of thing. Maybe not 100% as bad, but sort of there, because he just doesn't realise what he says half the time. Sometimes he does, and he'll delete the video and pretend it never happened. But sometimes he's that stupid that he leaves the video up where he has incriminated himself. You know, he's going to say now that we doxed him too as well. But there was a picture on Facebook of him sending a letter to P. Diddy. And he took a picture of the envelope addressed to P. Diddy, and there was a return address on the top corner of the envelope where his return address is on it. And he took the picture and he put it up on Facebook. There was other times where he was walking around his house with his camera, and there was a piece of paper on a chest of drawers with his phone number on it. He also doxed his child's school. He also puts his live security camera feed from outside his house on live streams, so you can see the street sign. You know, he does these stupid things, and then he doesn't acknowledge them, or he says, you guys are just fucktarded ass people, and then further down the line he says, guys, don't dox yourself, don't do this. You know, he learns a lesson 6 months or a year later than we tell him, Cecil, don't do these things, don't dox yourself, and other stupid things. Don't do this because you're putting your security of your family at risk and stuff like that. And then something bad happens, and then he comes on video and says, guys, don't do this, we already knew not to do this, you're just copying on to it now. And see, Cecil doesn't learn. The way Cecil learns is, Cecil learns after it's too late, and then he cops on that, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's how it works with Cecil. Like, don't text and drive. It was about 10 or 15 seconds of a flipping short, and there was a big pile of car plastic on the road, and I'm thinking, yes, somebody's messed up here, and Cecil's that stupid, it was probably him. Guys, don't text and drive. We keep telling him, don't be messing with your phone when you're driving your car, because he would do a live stream driving the car, and there's people blowing the horn at him because he's done something stupid. He's crossed into a lane and he hasn't realised or something because he's looking at the chat. Don't do shit like that.
That's the only time you can get my attention.
Yeah, because you're hiding.
Only time. And you jump all over it.
Exactly, because, you know, we miss you. We miss having a chat, Cecil.
Everybody that's great has haters.
You see that? You see that? He can't wait to fucking make himself out to be fucking God's gift. And it's flipping funny. The reason why he's getting haters is because he came on the internet and admitted to doing things to children, not once but a number of times.
Only time. And you jump all over it. Everybody that's great has haters. In that last video I made, I tagged Millie's in that video, so he could see me talking about everything that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, but but the thing is, Cecil, the thing is, you says that why would Millie pay any attention to you guys, and why would Millie pay you attention? So why are you wasting your time? I'm just wondering.
This video I made, I tagged Millie's in that video.
Because you're a cloud chaser, but you're not. It's not going to work really. You're trying to get. You deleted your channel because you had too many too many videos that exposed the things that you say and the things you do. So you completely wiped that channel and you started again. And now you tried to hide from us by setting up a new channel. But one of my friends have bombed the channel and told everybody about it. And you're now trying to build up that channel. But the problem is, Cecil, you try to build up that channel. You see, the thing is, there's more videos about you than you have made about yourself at this point. And none of those videos clap you in the back. There's 2 out of thousands. And I reckon the 2 videos that I've seen were made by people that weren't playing with the full deck, if you know what I mean. The rest of them are basically outing you for what you've done and what you've said in videos. A lot of mine, is that, along with taking the piss out when you say stupid shit, which sometimes is flipping hilarious. Sometimes we have to find humour in this dark shit.
So he could see me talking about everything that you guys are talking about.
But he won't see you, Cecil, if he wouldn't pay attention to you or me or anybody else. So why are you saying that stupid shit? You're just contradicting yourself again.
You guys are trying to turn a famous person who don't even know who I am against me because I like his music and I threw my old verse, my dusty old verse. Dude, I seen the challenge last night on YouTube, so I figured I would throw that verse that fits on the song on it. Who gives a fuck?
Well, you do you, but you did make a fool of yourself. I'm just saying.
I was just goofing around. Why are you so worried about what I'm doing, Shredder?
Because you admitted to doing things to children. That's the whole root of all this. You doing goofy shit and stuff like that, that's just a side point. That's just our journey along the way, because you do goofy shit and say stupid shit. But the whole root of the problem, you wouldn't have people flipping tracking your every movement on the internet if you didn't do things to children and openly admit it on video. You see, as well as that, you accused us of doing horrible stuff. So we're after you because you've slandered us. You've accused us of horrible crimes. And you want us to leave you alone? I don't think the world works like that, Cecil. What kind of world do you live in? You don't just flip and accuse people of doing horrible crimes and expect them to fuck off. They don't. They come down on you harder.
That's your whole fucking existence. You already came on a live stream with me and told everybody that you do this because you enjoy obsessively getting people off of YouTube.
I doubt it if he said that. Cecil likes to twist things. Is this Master Shredder? Because I don't recall Master Shredder actually saying that. So, Cecil, stop. Stop playing silly buggers here.
It's all you do on YouTube. You don't create real content. You say...
Who exactly are you referring to? Are you referring to Master Shredder or anybody else? Or are you referring to me? I don't know if you're referring to me, but you don't want to mention my name because for some reason you get extremely angry. Are you extremely angry that I analysed your confession video and put the whole spectrogram and everything up on the internet to prove that the video was not altered in any way? You seem to got very angry after that, even though you probably don't understand what I was trying to do. you've got a history in the music industry and you don't know what layers are. It's kind of strange, if you know what I mean.
Say stupid shit all the time. Make fun of people's guns. All kinds of stupid shit.
No, Cecil. You bought what was known at the time as a Sky CPX-2. And you brought that gun to the gun range. And it was horrifying. Do you know when you press the trigger and nothing comes out the barley end and it doesn't go bang? And then you're wondering what happened and you're flicking around and stuff like that, and it could go off at any moment because it's a very unreliable gun. We were trying to say, Cecil, you bought a bad gun, you need to do something about it because somebody is going to get hurt. And if it goes off in the house and it goes through the floor, it might hit the guy downstairs. You know where I'm... At least you got rid of it now. But it took you years to cop on that, you know, you were carrying around a gun that was unreliable, and an unreliable gun that doesn't go off when you pull the choo-choo thing, and it doesn't go bang, and the thing comes flying out. When it doesn't do that, that's a problem, because it might come out unexpectedly. And and we're talking about you, the controller of the gun, who does stupid things. The mixture of you that do stupid things and an unreliable gun is a recipe for disaster when you have a child in the house and a partner as well. Not alone, just yourself. And we tried to, you know, we were concerned about the safety aspect of it. He was flipping gloating that he has this CPX-2 and it's my best gun and all the rest of it. We were saying it's shit and it's unreliable and you need to get rid of that thing. He eventually did. Sometimes he listens to us, but it takes him a couple of years, if you know what I'm saying.
There's a gun culture all over YouTube.
Yeah, but your ideal examples of good gun content is Black Rambo, who shows off guns. He acts the fool. We that look at other gun content, was kind of encouraged by you. We kind of started picking up an interest in it. We pick people that actually explain the gun, knows the history, is doing tests, kind of like how-to videos, not fooling around with guns like the stuff that you watch. But you use a gun as you threaten us with it. You brandish it to say, you know, you're not saying it, but you're basically flashing the gun, don't fuck with me. That's what you're doing. But otherwise, you are just flashing it like you have a Ferrari in your driveway. That's all you don't want about guns.
Like, you're running out of shit to say about me. You're a moron, bro.
Is he talking about Master Shredder, or who's he talking about? You see, he's so frustrated that he lashes out, and in his head he's thinking about somebody. But we have to put the pieces together because he doesn't actually say it physically, if you know what I'm saying. We have to do this Sherlock Holmes thing and find out who he's talking about. I'm kind of guessing it's Master Shredder because when he has a hissy fit, it's usually Master Shredder that's the punching bag.
Why are you on my dick so bad? Why are you so worried about what the fuck I'm doing in life? You know what I think, Shredder? I think you mess with kids. That's what I think.
I think you mess with kids. Right. If he said, I think, then he just got away with it. I know it's bad. It's extremely bad that he said that. Cecil doesn't watch the videos. He doesn't watch my videos. When he watches a video, he watches the first minute or so, and then the rest of it, we can talk about him. He doesn't even watch the video. Right, if he had said, you do these things, then that's slander. He says, I think you do these things, then he just got away with it. Let's see if he continues to get away with it, because he usually steps in shit then.
Because for you and all your friends to be so naive and to believe that garbage that you guys altered and put out on me, that's slander, kind of, because we didn't alter those videos. It came from his mouth, his live streams. So he's fucking lying. He's accusing us of doing things we didn't do. So, which isn't really slander. It's slander. He's not name calling us, but he basically is calling us liars. Again. We're used to this at this point. I mean, like, he doesn't have a counter argument for the altered videos, because he can't prove that they were altered. We tried to get him to do that and he won't do it, so we put our evidence forward. It was extremely damning. I put my evidence forward. It was extremely damning, and do you know what Cecil's response was? He called me a fat, sloppy B-word that sits around all day shitting on themselves. That's his response. That was his counter-argument, which means I got him. Because he didn't have a counter-argument, he resorted to calling me names. To believe that type of garbage about when I'm talking about myself as a kid? I was talking about myself when I was a kid?
No, you were 17, right? You were talking about yourself as a kid. So you've actually admitted that you were in the video. So it wasn't a highly edited. We're talking about before AI, so AI doesn't come into this at all. None of it goes into it. The way that it would have been altered would have been chopped up and the words messed around and stuff like that. But the clock in the background stayed on time. The number stayed constant. And the video... See, the thing was, a lot of people didn't realise at the time that if you turned the gain, if you put the whole video into your editing software and ramp that gain up, you could actually hear the background outside. You could hear sort of traffic and all that kind of stuff. And there was a dog barking. Now, the dog didn't bark the whole way through the video, but in a lot of the crucial things, when he said, me and we're doing sexual shit and stuff like that, there was a dog barking right through it. If the video was edited, the vocal layer, that's the main layer, you see, this is why we're talking about layers. The background layer is the background hissing noise, and the background, which is another layer apart from the dog barking and the traffic and stuff like that. That's another layer. It sounds a bit like an onion. I only know basically the two layers, the audio layer and the background layer kind of thing. But if you chop up the vocal layer and the vocal picture where he's talking, you chop up the background layer as well. So there was no dog barking kind of halfway through a bark and then cut and stuff like that. And who is going to go through the bother of noise gating the vocal layer and taking out the background layer, altering the vocal layer, and then putting back in the background layer, because the background layer was just about audible. You had to ramp up that gain to hear properly. I heard one or two little barks when it was on the ordinary live stream, and that's where I copped on. Hold on a second, there's a dog outside here. Let's delve into this a little bit more. You see, Cecil didn't realise that. You see, Cecil's, when I say Cecil's background is in doing videos about the paranormal, and he calls it paranormal research. His idea of research is watching ghost adventures on YouTube and Netflix or wherever the fuck it is, Paramount Plus or whatever platform it's on. Ghost hunting shows. That's his idea of research. He doesn't seem to realise that paranormal, there's a lot of research into audio phenomenon and stuff like that, and you have to, when it comes to electronic voice phenomenon, which is basically voices that comes up on tape recorders and audio recording devices that weren't physically there, or a response to a question. For those who are not familiar with the paranormal, EVPs is electronic voice phenomenon of an unknown source of origin, which could be a ghost or it might not be, kind of thing. He doesn't realise that people that analyse those kinds of things a lot of them go into a lot of detail. I don't go into a huge amount of detail, but I have to do a little bit of it. I have to do the basics, and it was that basic knowledge that shocked me, that there was a dog barking in the background when he was saying crucial things about what he'd done when he was babysitting those children. So those videos are not altered at all. Furthermore, what we try to do is we try to find anomalies by, sometimes we kind of try to do things the lazy way. We actually look at a common waveform, and then when we see something that's different, we go for that. That's where there could be something. That's how we know about waveforms and stuff. But when you cut up a video, there's very good chance that you have a waveform that's halfway up and it's cut, because you cut the video and then you've got other audio coming in and it doesn't exactly match. You have to go into great detail to match and blend in that audio. Nobody's going to spend that time blending that audio to make Cecil say things he didn't say. The thing is, he's really talking about the confession video, but he's done other videos backing up the confession video, because at the time when he confessed to doing this crime, he basically, because he accused the victims, so he became the victim. Why he done this was he was wanting to get sympathy, and he was expecting that sympathy. But it turned around on him because people went, no, an 8 and 10-year-old can't consent. 8 and 10-year-olds don't do these things. You're 17, you're a babysitter, you're supposed to be, protecting them and make sure they don't do bad things. But you got victimized by an 8 and 10-year-old? And then his argument is, what are you talking about? My daughter's 10 years old and having her period. So what has 10 years old got to do with it? That was backing up the confession video. So he shot himself in the foot. And I don't know if he realises that, or is he genuinely that stupid? We tried to explain to him that you incriminated yourself by these other videos, and then he claims that all of the videos are edited. Nobody's going to spend all that time. And I don't know anybody that would accuse this man of doing these horrible things when he didn't do them. That is a messed up thing to do. And there's very few people that would cross that boundary. I certainly would not. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I just want the truth. And the truth came out. But there's no counter argument. There's just name calling. That's a black flag. When the cops are questioning somebody resorts to flipping, lashing out, and that means that they got them angry because they were asked a difficult question they didn't answer, and they tried to derail it by insulting. That's what CECIL tries to do. It doesn't work. It doesn't work with me because I know.
And you guys are using that, trying to make people think I mess with kids?
Yeah, because you admitted to doing it a number of times. A number of videos. I put them all together in one video. It was 2 weeks ago.
And you obsessively do this for...
No, I don't obsessively do this. I've got other channels. See, you know I've got other channels because you were subscribed to one of them at one point.
Years on end? Every single day, it's all you do on YouTube?
How do you know that if you don't watch our videos? You see, CECIL, you keep incriminating yourself.
But you're not actually going after real predators?
We are actually. We're going after you. And we want to make you take accountability because you accuse the victims. You victimize the victims even further by accusing them, and I think that's disgusting. It sometimes upsets me when I try to think about it too much, and that's why I goof around a little bit, because that's the way I deal with things sometimes.
You're not going after real child abusers? It makes me think you're a child abuser. It really does. And
he was that close. He was that close because sometimes he's so stupid. He just outright says that we're those things. He didn't this time. He was a little bit more careful. Maybe he's starting to grow a brain, but still that's a fucked up thing to say. A messed up thing to say. You see, what CECIL is doing, he's attacking back with the only way that he can, accusing us people of doing horrible things, because he doesn't have counter arguments. He doesn't realise that he's actually, he's showing his ass here. But that's messed up. You were flipping close to slander, but I think you copped on. You can't directly say that, because then that would be slander. But you did do that in the past, and it's documented. So, not good.
you keep saying, why don't you go take care of your kids that you abandoned? I didn't abandon my kids.
Technically you did, because you were dealing with addiction issues. I know it was kind of out of your control. I'm not going to get into this flipping argument. I don't think so. But technically, because you were addicted to things, addicted to pills or whatever, you couldn't look after your kids. So you left them in the responsibility of somebody else, because you didn't fight for your kids, because when you're addicted to something, the addiction becomes the thing that controls you, and that's the most important thing, and other things take a backseat, if you know what I mean. I don't really want to get into this part of the argument.
My son's mom brainwashed my son to make him think I hated him, and she played Mrs. Control Freak and wouldn't let me go do nothing with my son, wouldn't let me take him nowhere for no reason. She had no reason for it.
Other people have better information than I have with this part of the thing, but yeah. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of messed up stuff. There's a lot. When you have a messed up childhood and stuff like that, and you go through a lot of stuff. I don't know if CECIL ever went to therapy. could do with going to therapy. But then the thing is, Cecil has a habit of lying. So if you lie to the therapist, it's a kind of waste of time. You have to admit that there's something wrong in order for therapy to work properly.
Besides, he just wanted to be a control freak.
You notice, it's the woman's fault again. Cecil has an issue with women too, by the way. If you're a woman and you're in my position calling this out, he will come after you like a flipping ton of bricks. Way more than us. I've seen flipping Cecil on a live stream flipping call women all sorts of flipping names. He is flipping vicious. So, and I think it all stems. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to flip. But he did talk about his, he had issues with his mum and stuff like that. So he might have mammy issues. But, Jesus, he's vile towards women. And we stand up for the women, and that may rattles us sort of thing. I stand up for everybody. I don't like people being called names at all, so I stand up for everybody.
She kept him out of my life. Lied about what. Like, I don't have to explain this to you. You're a retard.
But you see, the thing is, a lot of the time Cecil says, I don't have to explain things to you, but I'm going to do it anyway, kind of thing. You're wasting your time saying I don't need to explain this to you. You see, he says that when it comes to the confession video. I don't have to explain it to you people. Well, you kind of do. You see, we wouldn't be talking about it if you came public in the first place. So, because it's in the public eye and because you made a public statement that you've done these things, that's why we want accountability. That's the way it works. If you didn't come out with a public statement, we wouldn't be talking about this because we wouldn't flipping know.
The kids are grown. They have always been welcome to come see me and come be in my life.
The thing is, when you become a kind of a LOLCOW on the internet and there's flipping thousands of videos of you acting the fool, it's kind of embarrassing for your kids, if you know what I mean. His daughter that, currently is a resident in the house, is probably getting bullied at school. I don't want to speculate, but, kids these days, they know technology. They will find videos, the next thing is spread all over the classroom, and it's embarrassing for his daughter and stuff like that. I feel sorry for the daughter. I really do.
Or invite me to where they're at. I never abandoned my kids. My oldest daughter, her mom gave her away before she was born. So how was that abandonment? I was there at the hospital the night she was born.
Right. But the thing is, you're the father, she's the mother, and the mother abandoned the kid. But you abandoned it too. That doesn't make any sense, Cecil. You had rights to that kid too, but the mother abandoned, not you. Cecil, why do you say stupid shit?
Security was told not to let me in. I didn't abandon my daughter.
Why were you not allowed in? Was it because you were under the influence of something? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate that one either. I think he claims that his partner at the time asked the security not to let him in. And he was talking about forged signatures on birth certs and stuff like that. Cecil makes up an awful lot of shit to blame the other person other than himself. He does it all the time. We see the pattern, but usually it's bullshit. So I'm going to assume that this is bullshit too, but I can't prove that one.
You fucktard. You're just an idiot. You can make up all the bullshit that you want in your head. It's not going to make it true, bro.
But you see, the thing is, when we make a statement and we provide evidence, And when you resort to name calling rather than a counter argument, we win the argument. That's the way it works here. If you can come up with a counter argument with evidence backing what you're saying up, then we can talk. We've been trying to tell him that for years, but he doesn't listen. He just thinks that calling us retards works. It doesn't. It just makes us laugh. I think it's funny.
Just because you make shit up in your head, it doesn't make it true. The things that you got.
Oh, shout out to the fellow fucktards. Don't forget to subscribe. You see, we embrace the name calling sometimes because it doesn't defeat us. You accused me of having a crusty butthole or something like that. That's why my name is the Crusty Rabbit Hole. CECIL named my channel. He thought I was going to be upset about it, but I embraced it and I named my channel. You see, that's how we operate. We're used to CECIL's insults at this stage. At first, when he done this, I really was a fucking victim. I came off the internet for 6 months because of what he called me and stuff like that. It affected me quite badly. But when I came back, I slowly developed a thicker skin. And when I kept trying to say at the time, it's just CECIL, but it did hurt. It did hurt. It did affect my confidence in that, which it took me a while to build back up, and that's why I'm partly still rallying this. But the overall thing is, I'm standing up for people that were victims that CECIL accused of doing things to him. He turned the victims into the perpetrators and he made himself the victim. I don't like that shit.
Create about me doesn't bother me because I know it's all fake and lies. Like random news. All his shit, fake, lies, altered videos.
You see, the thing is, CECIL brought up one of Random News's videos, right? Where, you see, Random News has this great editing thing. He has all the videos and he can bring up a contradiction by putting two pieces of clip together where he says one thing and he actually done the other thing. Do you know, he brings receipts. He brings the CECIL would say something but actually do something else, and he would give the example and stuff like that. That's editing. That's bringing receipts. That's not altering what he says. But what CECIL done was, he brought up a parody, which was kind of like an icebreaker halfway through a 1 hour video. Just, a palate cleanser. It's a parody. It was made up. It was truly a parody, and it was labelled as such. But CECIL brought this up as evidence that Random News alters videos. When Random News clearly said in the description that the skits were parodies. But CECIL avoided the real evidence. He didn't go through that part of the video. He was very close to it, but he just stopped the video and stopped reacting to it because he knew that fucking Random News had got him. And he wasn't going to cover that bit because he didn't have an answer to it. He'd done that a number of times with Random News. Random News comes up with the real evidence. And all the evidence is not just us talking, it's CECIL's words. We don't have to do a while lot when it comes to CECIL. CECIL hands us the evidence in the plate. But CECIL rejects that evidence that he says. That's how stupid and daft this all is.
Puts a bunch of my videos all together from years on in, all together into one lump. Because he's mad because I have an opinion on Kanika Jenkins.
I'm going to talk about Kanika Jenkins. If you're in the Scientology community, you may or may not know about the Kanika Jenkins case. Kanika Jenkins was a young lady that was in, I can't remember the name of the hotel, but the hotel was owned by a famous actor that was in Ghostbusters. I can't remember his flipping name offhand, but Kanika Jenkins was seen walking down the hallway on security camera. She might have been under the influence of something. She was found dead in a freezer. Now, the investigation showed that, it completely contradicted what was happening, because what was happening is a load of people overnight all of a sudden became psychic on TikTok and YouTube or whatever, or on social media or whatever, and then started coming up with conspiracy theories. And some of these conspiracy theories were absolutely stupid, but Cecil at the time thought, yeah, I'm going to join these people and I'm going to make some content, because these people are getting loads of views off this, and joined the conspiracy, the Kanika Jenkins community, or whatever the fuck it's called. My brain isn't fully working here, but J4K community kind of thing, and it's all revolved around flipping really daft conspiracy theories. Cecil decided he was psychic overnight for some fucking reason. I don't know how the fuck that happens, but he started doing spirit box sessions, and then claiming that the spirit box was saying that her friend that night was responsible for Kanika Jenkins's death. Now, that was slander. And Random News was covering the Kanika Jenkins saga and accidentally came across this fucking fool here, right here. But he had no idea about the flipping child abuse stuff that Random News came across on Order of Magnitude's channel, and he goes, holy shit! And then Random News started looking into him further, and it wasn't just about the Kanika Jenkins stuff, it was about the abuse stuff, and he was able to bring up receipts and contradictions from Cecil. Cecil doesn't like this guy. This guy, he hasn't got Random News, he hasn't got a huge amount of subscribers for the quality of the content that he does. He's a very good editor, he spends time at it. He may only come out with a video once a month and that, but he possibly does a bit of the video one day and then goes and does his job or do his thing and comes back, and over the month starts building up the video. He's very good at it. He's not just reacting to his video, do you know, like what I'm doing here, the easy way. He's actually constructing these videos together, and they're pretty good. But Random News doesn't like the fact that these conspiracy theories, a lot of them are fruitcakes, are accusing somebody else of murder and getting away with it. We've seen with the TikTok psychic what happened there. The TikTok psychic, she's I seen a video, or seen a video. I didn't watch the video, but apparently she's back trying to solve cases again with her psychic ability. But basically, the TikTok psychic got into a $10 million lawsuit, and she lost. This girl probably hasn't two pennies to rub together, but she got stung for $10 million, and she's back trying to solve cases with her psychic ability. But the case, I can't remember what state it was in, but 4 students died as far as I know. But the guy that got caught, he was caught because of his car, basically. But this TikTok psychic accused a lecturer at the college for killing these 4 students. And who brought the case against the TikTok psychic? It was the lecturer who brought, and she recently lost that case for $10 million. She got stung. But CECIL done exactly the same thing. Out and out said Kanika Jenkins was killed by Monifa, which was her friend. He didn't say in my opinion. He did say afterwards, but there was a video right up when his channel did exist that he out and out accused her friend of killing her friend. And some of the evidence that all these nut jobs are just bringing forward, say this proves that her friend didn't care about Kanika, was that she was laughing at her funeral. Do you know when you have a camera on you in a funeral and stuff like that, you kind of are not sad all the time. There's times where there might be a sort of a funny moment or something, and they just caught that. They didn't bring the context to it. They just said, right, she smiled or laughed, she didn't seem that concerned, she didn't look sad or whatever. You don't look sad 100% of the time. So they got a piece where, and then said that proves that her friend didn't give a shit about her, which means she must be guilty. She must be hiding something. But he went along with these fools, and eventually got kicked out of these communities. These communities were, you know, all over the place on the internet at the time. And he was in these communities, but the thing was, he was having problems and having arguments with women in these communities and calling them all sorts of names. And he gets kicked out of those communities. I traced back a lot of stuff back to a guy called Rebel and that. And Rebel was having awful problems when CECIL was coming into the community, because he was unhinged and he was flipping arguing with women. A lot of other people were the same. This is when CECIL was kind of active on YouTube. He's now hiding because he's getting too much. He's getting too much attention on him. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, let's continue.
And he don't like me having an opinion on Kanika Jenkins because I'm a white dude.
No. You see, now he's accusing Random News of being a racist, do you know? And that wasn't an opinion, that was you putting out a fact. I know, the name of the title of the video was, I Know Who Killed Kanika Jenkins. Not my opinion, it was a fact. Random News kept bringing that up, and he kept trying to twist it and say it was my opinion. But you didn't state it as an opinion, you stated it as a fact, which is slander. I don't know how Kanika Jenkins's mother did not sue a lot of these people, because a lot of these people had come out with really, really stupid shit, really slanderous stuff. You know? It's crazy, you know? But CECIL doesn't take accountability, like a lot of these other people.
Because he's racist.
That's a fact, and that's slander. So Random News got slandered, not necessarily Master Shredder. He said it was his opinion. He was very close to slandering him, because he did slander him before. He slandered us all, but he slandered Random News right there. Random News, you're apparently a racist according to this guy here.
So he wants to join my haters, retards like you, and create content to defame.
Now he is slandering. He's calling him a retard. Oh God. Well, anyway, you see, a lot of the time we can't take him seriously because this is a repetitive thing.
Defamation.
Posh calling kettle black. Well done, Cecil. You see, this is how Random News does it. Do you know? Accusing somebody of doing some shit, and then he's crying defamation from these other... You see what I mean? When you put them two together, it's flipping funny. And it gets him every time, because it's his words. And he's just proven it. We don't have to do the research. Random News has already done the research, and he's putting it all together in a 1-hour video. And Cecil hates that. And he can do nothing about it because it's his voice. He even tried copyright striking and stuff. It's fair use. He's putting pieces together. Contradictions. Proving things. Bringing the real evidence. Every piece of this evidence that's ever come in this particular case has come from Cecil's mouth, and he's trying to put the cat back in the bag, and it's just stupid. You can't do it.
To lie on people all over social media.
We can't lie. We're reacting to your video. Most of us are reacting to your video in real time. We're reacting to what you're saying. So, but most of the evidence is coming from your mouth, so how the fuck can we be lying? You see, I'm not into bringing back a lot of receipts and bringing back a lot of clips in the middle of a video. I don't want to spend all that time on it, but Random News does, and Cecil doesn't like that. But he can't. Random News can't really lie when all the evidence is coming from his mouth. He's not saying like what I'm saying. That's not what you said 2 weeks ago. Random News doesn't say that. Well, he might say that, but he backs it up with a clip. I says, gotcha. What are you going to do about it? You know?
The dude literally makes up stories about me.
No, he doesn't actually. Well, he kind of does, but that doesn't. You see, I've already explained that. You think a parody was a real video that was that you said those things in those parodies. It was kind of close to the truth, to be honest with you. But it's a parody, and it was labelled as such. You took it as flipping evidence that Random News lies about everything. But you avoided the real evidence. And I noticed that, and a lot of other people noticed that. I pointed it out. You're avoiding the real evidence. You just came along and said, this is the proof that Random News edits my words. A parody, which was labelled as such. But then you stop the video because you cannot answer the evidence after that. Interesting.
And you guys create fake accounts trying to make people think that it's me, and then write messages to each other acting like that it's me saying these things. You guys lie.
I have no idea what he's talking about there. I got 4 channels. 3 of them are paranormal on this one. No, I don't do it. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Over and over and over and over again. Obsessively. Disturbingly obsessively. There's something wrong with you, bro. There really is. And anybody who says there's not is delusional. Just as delusional as you are.
Cecil, you're just filling us up with shit here. Do you have any proof that we're lying to you? Because I'm just wasting my time here, as fucking usual. I want to bring my dog out for a walk and shit. Are we going to be too much longer? Can you come up with anything concrete here that I've been waiting for the last couple of years that you've never come up with? I guess The law of averages says that this is just going to be name calling and accusing and no receipts.
I don't watch your all's videos.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, because you get riled up, you come on into your kitchen and you start quoting things from videos that you claim you don't watch. So stop talking shit.
They're fake. They're not real.
Yeah, but you didn't prove any of that. We proved that they were real. Your counter-argument didn't exist because you resorted to name-calling, which means you don't have a counter-argument. What are we supposed to do with that?
It's all made up shit. You try to find ways on YouTube to shove it down my throat just to get a reaction.
He's just flinging shit at this point. Can we have receipts, please? Can you prove that we made up things? Can you prove that we lied? Can you prove that we altered videos? No? I'm not surprised, but we asking this for flipping 4 or 5 years or more at this point.
You guys are not real content. You're cancel culture.
No. We're just trying to make you take accountability. I do paranormal stuff over on my main channel. And I go out to interesting places stuff. That's content. I don't sit around thinking about you all day. That would be a horrible life.
You dox people. You troll people.
Do you mean we doxed you? You doxed yourself. You put your personal information out there. It's not our fault that you are stupid. Maybe make sure where you're pointing the camera isn't a place where your phone number or your address is. Not only once do I remember him doxing his address. It was twice and maybe more. I did see at one point he panned a camera over to a chest of drawers. I told you about the phone number and that. But there was another envelope on this chest of drawers with his address on it. It's not our fault if you are stupid, Cecil. As well as that, there's a sign outside the door of his house telling us what street he's on. And he often had mentioned the number of his house. Or the number of the street. And parts of the street. You just put the bits and pieces together and then you get the whole thing. But he out and out doxed himself a number of times with envelopes on a live stream. It's not our fault if you are dumb. Stop accusing other people of doing your dumb shit.
You literally stalk people. You follow people to their jobs.
That's Cecil being paranoid. That's literally Cecil being paranoid. And he probably is going to bring up that somebody put a note under Cecil's flower pot outside. And he's accusing Shredder of it because it says at the bottom of the letter, Shredder stopped by. B-Y-E. Shredder knows how to spell. You, on the other hand, would make a mistake like that. And your writing on that letter matches the writing that was on some sort of USB stick. So I think you're writing these things and then you're accusing other people of sending you stuff in your letterbox and under your flower pot and stuff like that. How come all the writing is the same as yours? Like, I'm not no Sherlock Holmes but I'm not stupid. Oh my god. This guy's dumb.
You've made false reports to social workers.
No, we didn't. Somebody made a report to social workers because of your behaviour towards your daughter and the stuff that you were discussing about SA, this whole Casey thing, and your daughter is in the room next door with no door and she can hear everything. You're driving around talking about SA and arguing your case with your daughter sitting in the passenger seat, etc., etc. And then you said afterwards that the social workers came and thought we were a great family, blah, 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 in the middle of bringing in loads of food because there was some sort of issue there. So he said, stop talking shit.
You guys are demonic, low-life pieces of shit. You just want me to sit here and talk about you all day to give you some sense of pride that you can't give yourself because you don't know how to create real content.
Continue just flipping calling us names, because that's all you have at this point. That's what all you had for flipping donkey's years. No flipping counter-argument, no evidence. Where do we edit the video, Cecil? Or you just continue going to call us retards?
You don't know how to make real friends.
That doesn't make any sense. You don't know us. You don't know our friends. Stop talking bollocks, Cecil. He doesn't even know who Master Shredder is. Or he doesn't know random news. He doesn't even know what random news looks like. So how does he know about his friends? Or Master Shredder's friends? Or my friends? Or anything like that? Stop talking shit.
You and your social media friends, only thing you guys got in common is your obsession with me. And the things you say about me. That ain't true. All these things you guys have to say about me, but none of y'all know me, so y'all don't know anything about me.
If they're not true, just prove it. Just bring up your evidence. That was what I've been asking for 3 years. My friends have been asking for at least 5 years. Stop just... continue to call me a retard and continue to call us retards. We don't fucking give a shit. But if you want to, you want to get one up on us, bring up the fucking evidence that we altered videos, Cecil. We did not. We wouldn't fuck around with things like this, because you know who would suffer the most? The victims. If you want somebody that has the money, bring this whole thing to court under a slander thing and bring up the evidence, and then, some expert connected to the court can analyse these videos and we can put it to bed once and for all. Because I know 100% that those videos were not altered because of the small limited knowledge I know, which anybody could learn very, very easily. Because, at the time when he was called High Street Paranormal, he was connected with the paranormal. It's kind of stupid, to be honest with you, because he doesn't know what the aspects behind the scenes is with the paranormal. It's analysing audio. A lot of the paranormal evidence is actually audio, and you kind of have to know a little bit about the basics of cleaning up EVPs and analysing stuff. You can go really, really deep into it, or you can know the basics and that. Even the basics just tore this whole thing apart. So, there's experts in audio that can go through every single layer and stuff like that and see the inconsistency. There's no inconsistencies there because the basic test didn't show any inconsistency. I doubt if an expert could see that too. So, Cecil, stop talking absolute shit and just bring up your counter-argument and your receipts and prove us all once and for all that we're liars. Just don't keep calling us liars without backing it up. We don't listen to bullshit. Calling us liars and calling us retards does absolutely nothing, because he's been doing it for 5 years. We're used to it. It's like water off a duck's back. Cecil thinks by insulting us will get us to be quiet, when it does the opposite. He should have learned that years ago. Why does he keep doing it? Because he thinks different than most people. Let's just say.
You're going based off of a childhood testimony that was altered over and over again.
Okay, so that's your statement. bring up the evidence that I asked 3 years ago, Cecil, where the video was altered, and I can analyse those pieces of audio that you claim are altered. Because I've gone through it umpteen times. I spent too much time on it. I can't see any alterations of it whatsoever. The dog in the background fucked you up big time. And when you found out that I found this dog in the background because there was a slight little bark in real time and I just ramped up the gain and stuff like that, you, I think, deep down knew that you were kind of fucked. And that's when your name calling towards me got even more vile. And now you don't want to even talk about me because you're afraid of what I might come up with next. I don't need to come up with anything else. You're kind of fucked. And that's why you're hiding, you're putting out this propaganda, you're slinging shit, and then you're going back into your hole and hiding, and we can't comment on your channel, we can't have a debate, and because you turned off the comments, we talk on our own platform. So you created channels by blocking engagement, because I wouldn't have had a channel if you blocked me, because I'd still be able to debate you on your channel and have it over and back like normal people. But you blocked me from, you tried to silence me, but I won't be silenced, and a lot of other people wasn't going to be silenced either. So you created channels that cover your bullshit. So you made the problem worse rather than try to quench the fire. You threw petrol on it. That's what you did.
When I already told you that half of the shit in the original video, the non-altered version that don't even exist to compare it to, was it?
Who deleted the original video? So on your channel was you at live, and you deleted it, you tried to hide it. You didn't realise that somebody had recorded it. Oh dear. You see, the fact that you can't make this argument if you deleted the video. Why did you delete the video? Why didn't you keep a copy of it and then you could argue back? You can't argue back now because you don't have your copy of the video. And if you did bring it up, it would be exactly the same as ours, CECIL. So stop talking shit. The only reason you're talking like this is because you don't have the copy of your video. So you can't get one up on us because it's exactly the same. You can talk all this shit all you want, but because you don't have any evidence backing it up, you're just talking bollocks. We brought receipts, so you should stop talking shit.
Not even true. There is not even one person out there saying these things about me. The only...
Are you for real? Is this guy for real? Or is he saying that victims haven't said anything? Because if we're talking about the SA victims, they haven't spoken publicly. But there's other victims of other things. Of slander, defamation, insults, attacks online. There was even a kind of stalking kind of thing, and the girl done a video on her thing. It opened up all the wounds. She's a victim too. And when that video came out, you flipping slated her after that. I mean, like, how scummy is that? That girl was fucking heartbroken. She was fucking hurting inside. I was sitting watching the video, I was flipping in tears, and I was rattled up, and I had to cover that story because I felt for that, you know, for the hurt that she went through. You know, the wounds that were opened up by having to talk about you being a creep when she was 15 or something like that. This is... a lot of this stuff happens on video, kind of thing. You know, the stuff he says, the stuff he does, the stuff. They're the things that is archived away with random use. That's why he uses them in the videos and stuff like that. Cecil doesn't like that. He keeps talking about random use. He's just advertising him. Now my videos aren't like random use where I'm just reacting to what he's saying now in real time and stuff like that. Sometimes I make a video where I bring back other clips to prove that he's talking shit. But I couldn't, at this point, I don't want to spend all this time at it. You know, random news actually puts it together. It's a slam dunk. There's no way out of it, Cecil. And you don't like it, and that's why you keep slagging him off and that. But you're just advertising his name by just even mentioning him, because he's actually a very, very good editor. He's very good at putting productions together, and he deserves more credit than he does get.
People calling me a child abuser in any type of way is you. People who don't know me. People who never met me.
But you admitted that you'd done these things. The things that a child abuser does, Cecil. I don't know how... Is there something I'm missing here? Fucking hell. It all came out of your mouth, Cecil.
People who don't know me from anywhere.
I know more about Cecil than I know about most people on the internet, because Cecil talks about his personal stuff a wee bit too much. And then when he realises he says too much, he gets very angry about it.
There's no validity to you. You're just a YouTube troll who makes garbage content, bro.
We're covering you. Of course it's garbage content, but, you know, the stuff that... We're using your videos as evidence, like, so, you know... Yeah, it's kind of garbage, but it's true. The stuff that you've said. You've already admitted to me that you've done it. You don't realise that I was actually, at the time, I was called Paranormal Pigeon, that you called Paranormal Pig. You admitted to me, and at the time I tried to help you. You remember that? Because I do. Then you deleted the video and you blocked me when I thought this was all over. Fucking hell. Cecil, that day was going to be a turnaround in history, and this was going to be all over. But we're still in this position because you just didn't want to take accountability. You didn't realise that, fuck it, I just admitted to doing these things, so I'm going to delete the video and then block me and then do a video on me calling me a retard and all sorts of flipping names. You attacked me, so yeah. Not a good look, to be honest with you, but you know, not many people seen that live stream at the time. It was on one of his other channels and stuff like that, and it's just a pity that he deleted the video, because that was one of the biggest contradictions ever. He admitted to doing things. And, you know, yes, at the time he said he was sorry and blah, blah, blah. And then I says, right, clear it all up, make a public statement, apologise to everybody that you've attacked and stuff like that. Most likely this will go away. You're going to have one or two people, but I'm going to leave you alone. Instead, you blocked me, you got rid of the video, and then you attacked me. Yeah, not good luck. You wrong move. And years later, we're still in this same position, arguing over and back and stuff like that. And it's just a fucking circle of the same old shit. And it's not getting you anywhere, Cecil, because you don't have any new arguments.
And even though you're obsessively talking about me, I don't watch it. I don't watch none of the garbage ass videos that y'all make.
But if you're not watching the videos, why are you standing there arguing with us for? What triggered you to make this video? if you don't watch us and you don't think about us and stuff like that. Why are you standing there attacking us? What triggered that, Cecil? Tell the truth.
Affect me, bro. You have to find a loophole where I'm leaving comments on Millie's channel so you can actually reply to them for me to see them.
Fair enough point. The reason why this... I forgot. The reason why this is happening is because Master Shredder made comments under his comments and stuff like that on this rapper's video. Okay, fair enough, Cecil, you got me on that one.
Because you know I'm not watching your garbage ass videos you make about me.
Well, you used to. I think you should come back and watch them. I mean, you might learn something. We're trying to help you at times. I think it's a waste of time at this point.
So everybody that you think you can turn against me, you show up in their comment section with this garbage ass shit that you're trying to get them to go watch. Shit that there's no validity to none of it.
The stuff that you said, it came out of your mouth. Cecil, you're not helping yourself here. Bring up a receipt here. Prove it. Never, hasn't been done in years, and it won't be it won't ever happen. This is just a waste of time. And this is a lovely day, and I should be outside.
It's all garbage content.
That you made. These videos, it came from you. Stop! Cecil, you don't think, do you?
It's cancel culture content.
It's not.
You guys have sent people and also came to my porch.
No. You wrote a letter to yourself like Mr. Bean wrote a Christmas card to himself, and you put it in your own letterbox. Stop talking shit. I know what your writing looks like. It's very kind of squarey and sharpish and stuff like that. Every piece that you claim that somebody sent you had that same writing on it, Cecil, and the same spelling mistakes. Cecil, we're not stupid. You don't have to be Columbo to figure this out.
You came to my property and I never released my address. You came to
you
my
did release your address, Cecil. That's the thing. You doxed yourself a number of times, and even if it wasn't for those envelopes, your security camera doxes you every time you put that security camera on your live stream. Did you not realise that? The street sign outside. People know the rest of the address, they just put it together, and then Google kind of does the rest. See, we're trying to teach you to be safe and stuff like that, and you don't help yourself. I don't know why we're still helping you. Because I'm going to give up at some point.
You came to my property. You called my jobs. You are not content creators. You guys are dirtbags, low-life pieces of shit who tried to use YouTube so you can laugh about how you're try to hurt people.
Right, who are you addressing? If you're addressing Master Shredder, that's slander. You have to prove that he follows you to work and stuff like that. He's in the other state. He's fucking busy most of the time. Why would he be going around following you? There's no point in following you. You could film you used to film yourself going everywhere anyway. So what's the point? What's the point in confronting you? What's the point in following you to work? You doxers, you tell us where you work you used to tell us where you worked anyway. And then you claim that we doxed your work. You see the Cyrix type of fucking dumb, stupid shit that sometimes is funny? You see, Cecil makes dumb mistakes and then he blames us for it because he can't take responsibility for his own actions. We keep telling him. And then as well as that, we know when he goes on holidays and goes on these camping trips because he can't wait to put out videos. Recently he said, right, This is a week later from our camping trip, so we don't know. We didn't want people to know that we weren't at home. We tried to tell you that for years, see, so don't be fucking putting out videos and doing live streams when you're on holidays like that. Because then people know that your house is empty. Don't do stupid shit like those people on Facebook that post pictures of them being in fucking Lanzarote and then they cry about it when their house is, they land back home and their house is broken into. They flipping told the world that they were on holidays. Do you know what I mean? Don't do stupid shit. It's kind of common sense, but Cecil, it takes a while. You know what I'm saying?
Try to ruin good families. And then when you do successfully ruin good families, you sit there and try to blame it on the people that you're doing it to.
Hold on a second. Ruin good families? Are we talking about your family? The family that you throw under the bus every so often? Your sister's this, your cousin's this, your mother's this. You're the one flipping, you know, you're putting your own family in a bad light. Not us. It's you that fucking comes out with this shit because you use your family members and throw them under the bus when it's convenient for you.
You guys are demonic people. You're not good people. Master Shredder, Random News, and that fucking piggy ass fucking Mike, whatever his name is. None of you guys are good people. You're all...
I'm fucking disappointed he didn't call me out. I'm fucking disappointed, Cecil. Why didn't I get a shout out? We're going back around to the same name calling again. This is kind of boring at this point. But he's unhinged. He has to release all this shit. Do you know what I mean?
Bad people. You literally get a kick out of and a laugh about, talk shit about good people.
You said that the first time. You already said that. Why say it twice?
Good people who are brave enough to talk about things in their childhood.
Are stupid enough to admit to crimes on video, on a live stream. That's what... Why are you taking responsibility for the video when you said that the video was edited, Cecil? Now it's your childhood testimony that you're trying to... You're trying to say that we altered the video because we changed the name of the flipping video. You didn't call it childhood testimony at the time, as far as I remember. But you labelled that afterwards because you didn't want it to be called a confession video because you confessed to crimes, you dumbass.
That wasn't so pretty. And try to make them out to be a monster to everybody because secretly Shredder is a child abuser.
Got him. He fucking missed the first time. He got away with it, but now he's got. Oh dear, see, how stupid can you be? God. You see, the thing is, he done this to us before on his other channel, and he deleted his other channel, so the evidence is kind of gone. But we did take copies of it, so you know, it's not completely disappeared. But he didn't do it on this channel, this new channel that he's got. Now he has. Well done, Cecil. Well done. I mean, like, this guy's dumb. You see, he's trying to, in some ways he's trying to get away from people talking about his crimes, but then he brings it up and then he accuses other people of doing the crimes that he done. Do you know what? Usually a guilty person would try to run as far away from it as possible. He brings the shit up. Oh God. Why would, you know, he keeps arguing the case, and then he accuses us of doing the crimes that we can prove that he done. And now he slandered Shredder once again. Somebody needs to flip and sue this guy. I'm just saying. Just get this over with. Fuck's sake.
Secretly, Shredder drives around in a vehicle giving out little candy to kids.
No, Cecil, he fixes houses. He doesn't sell sweets in the back of them. I know what he means. That's slander as well. Do you have any receipts for that, Cecil, by any chance? Or are you just talking out of your arse? How would you know? How could you prove that point? Have you got evidence for what you just said? Because, you know, if you don't have evidence for what you just said, you're lying, which means we shouldn't take anything that you just said in these videos into any sort of account at all, because you're an unreliable witness. Which I already knew. I fucking knew this years ago, so, you know, at this point we're just toying with him, because I don't take him seriously, because he talks an awful lot of shit. Oh dear Cecil, you don't think, do you?
That's what it all boils down to, and everybody that makes that bullshit content about me, every one of y'all look like some weirdo van drivers.
Says the guy that went camping recently and done a video looking around his uncle's minivan that they converted into a camper van. Or is that your van? Cecil. You don't think, do you? You're a van driver too. So, there you go. That's a weak that's a weak attack. It's just lame. We're used to it at this point. It's just him talking shit. There's no point in arguing with him.
Every one of you do. Every one of y'all are unattractive, ugly, fucking potential weirdos.
Hold on a second, I got you there too. We'll bring you back to random news, right? Random news what would you call it? A faceless channel? You can hear his voice. He does commentary, he does narration to his videos, his creations. He's not personally on the videos. How do you know what random news looks like, Cecil? Can you bring the evidence forward, Cecil? Or are you just talking shit? You're talking shit, aren't you, Cecil? Genie man. Cecil, you don't think when you talk, do you? Which is kind of funny.
Every one of y'all. None of y'all are pretty, man. All of y'all are ugly. I don't claim I'm the hottest thing in town, but I'm not a demonic person who tries to hurt good people all day by utilizing YouTube to lie on people and to be part of a cancel culture just to have friends.
We didn't come on the internet and admitted to touching kids. So stop. Okay? Cecil, you've got nothing. All you've done is fucking the last 10 minutes and more is flipping just name calling. That's all you've done. You're wasting my time. I have another 7 minutes to fucking go here. God, I might as well just take all the insults.
I don't dox and put shit in people's mailbox trying to intimidate them like you do.
Yes, you do. You put stuff in your own mailbox and claim that Master Shredder done it with your writing. How does Master Shredder fucking write in your writing, Cecil? Can you tell me that? And you made the videos. And that's how I found out that your writing looks exactly like Master Shredder's, because we seen envelopes on chests of drawers with your address on them that you've wrote. and other documents that you've written on, you have put on video, so we know what your writing looks like, and it looks like the same as Master Shredder, and the same as the USB stick that was put into your mailbox. There was writing on that, exactly the same writing as your writing. So the conclusion I'm coming to is that you're writing these things, and then you're accusing Master Shredder and other people of doing these things because you have to manufacture events, because we don't do these things. You falsified them to make these people out worse than they are. So stop. We caught you. Don't do it again. You know, now we don't trust you. Well, we didn't trust you in the first place, but that's beside the point.
I don't call your all's jobs and your places of business and your kids' school trying to ruin your family. Only dirtbag motherfuckers like you do that shit.
A lot of the time when Cecil gets kind of let go or whatever, there has been a number of ex-employees, and all of them kind of come up with similar stories, that Cecil's kind of a little bit weird. And within his first introduction, you know, they just met Cecil. Cecil would straight away say, you know, I'm getting trolled on the internet and people are calling me a child molester and stuff like that. But it's all false. They all made it up. They edited my videos. And they go, yeah, that's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. And that sticks in their mind. They go home and says, what the fuck this is all about? And they look it up and they go, oh, fuck it up. And then words gets around the workplace and stuff like that. And to add that he actually acts weird at work as well. They put two and two together and say, yeah, we made a bad choice taking this guy on. I think we need to tell him to go away, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Then he fell out with a girl at work or something. Or she was very silent one day. She wasn't very talkative. She could have been in a bad mood or something. On his tea break, he was sitting in the car talking to this girl, but not saying her name and stuff like that. And calling her out for her behaviour of ignoring him and stuff like that. It was all kind of weird and creepy and shit. You don't want those kind of people around you. It kind of gives you the ick, if you know what I mean.
Only you do that. Evil people who are not good people. You are not good people, and you can't tell me that you are.
You keep telling us that. We still don't believe you. How many more times are you going to call us demonic people?
Because you're not. Y'all are dirty, low-life pieces of shit.
How many more times? Ah, God.
And I don't want to give you any attention whatsoever. But
You're doing it now. I think it's funny, actually. It's funny how you're wasting your time just name-calling and stuff like that. You can bring out any fucking counter-argument to any of our claims, which we can back up with evidence, but you just name-call. And you have been doing this for years, and I don't know why I'm wasting my time with this, but, you know, this problem that you have isn't going away. No matter what, you try to sweep it under the carpet, we lift the carpet. And that's what we do every so often. We have to.
I'm going to let you know what I feel about you.
Oh, we know how you feel about us. You've told us 100 times, say so. We're low-life, demonic pieces of shit. We get it. See, so you don't have to say it numbers of times. We heard you first time.
I don't pay no attention to your videos. I don't watch them. I don't give any value to them. You live every day trying to get my attention.
No. you would have to be looking at our videos to prove that. And you don't watch our videos, so how do you know that we're talking about you every day? See, so you're not making sense.
Every single day. And it eats you up that I ignore the fuck out of your dumb ass. Because y'all are bad people. Y'all.
I'm glad you said we were bad people, because I didn't hear you the first time.
Y'all have united as friends in the name of trolling good people that you don't know while you make up false stories about people all day.
Here's the thing, Cecil. Here's the thing, right? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I need to I need to go back a second. I've lost it.
Friends in the name of trolling good people that you don't know while you make up false stories about people all day.
I can't remember the point I was
Just
trying to
because
make.
you say something doesn't make it true.
Exactly. But you say things. You see, we don't just say things, we bring receipts. That's why our point is more valid than yours, who basically just calls us low-like pieces of shit. That's not a counter-argument, Cecil. I'm just saying, as your lawyer. Mr. Rosenberg. God, Cecil. I hope you I hope you do, actually, but, you know, if you're in a court case, you're not going to win any of this shit. There's no fucking way, Cecil, that any lawyer in the United States is going to take up a case for you when you don't have evidence to back up your claims. And we can back up our claims 100%, and it's fucking solid concrete because it came from your mouth, you dumbass. Oh, God. So go bring your evidence to your lawyer, Ken Rosenberg, and see what you can do. Because, and he threatened to fucking sue people years ago, and it never happens. And then he, you know, stops talking about it, and then he says, I'm making a case and all the rest of it. It never happens. He's talking shite.
You make assumptions and then you wait for a reaction.
No. Assumptions would be guessing. But we're based on what you said that came from your mouth, which is not an assumption, it's a fact, Cecil. And you're trying to twist facts and say that the evidence is tampered with very fancy editing. First of all, it was a confession video. And I says, well, you know, we were saying, well, you can't make that argument because you made other videos backing up your confession video. Oh, they're all edited. We don't have that kind of time, Cecil. You made hundreds of videos. Stop.
You throw crumbs out there and then you try to see what type of person is going to come and eat those crumbs and how they're going to eat them. That's all you do.
We used to do that, and you used to fall for it every time, and we thought it was funny. It was comedy. It was good crack them days. Now you're hiding all the time, and it's kind of sad, because, you know, I miss the comedy, if you know what I'm saying.
You say some things about a person, and you wait for how they respond about it.
Yeah, and you used to fucking lose your shit, and do flipping rants in your kitchen. And you haven't even the camera straight or nothing, and it was flipping hilarious some of the times. I mean, I used to lose your shit. And then you say you weren't bothered by any of you fucking people while losing your shit. It was fucking hilarious. It was comedy gold.
And then you move on from there. Just like you tried to make me look bad just because I was teaching my daughter how to drive on a campsite.
I kind of didn't care about that, but you kind of filmed it, and there was people walking up and down the road and stuff like that, and she never drove a car before. It's not a good idea. I said it wasn't a great idea Other people say, well, you should be arrested because you're doing illegal things. I don't give two fucks about, you know, a lot of people teach their kid how to drive and, you know, it's not exactly legal and stuff like that. But to be safe, you're better off in a space where there's no other people just in case something goes wrong. You know, you said in the video she never drove a car before, so, you know, driving on a private road inside a campsite where there's other people, not the best fucking idea, to be honest, because, you know, you've got members of the public and it makes the driver kind of nervous too. If you have a fucking big massive car park where there's no cars and that person is more comfortable because there's nothing to hit, if you know what I mean, if anything goes wrong, you know. But yeah, he's digging at this point. He's just scraping off the bottom of the barrel. He's trying to throw this shit at us, which is kind of irrelevant to the whole main thing. He's trying to avoid the main thing now, even though he's brought it up, of confessing to doing things to children while he was babysitting. He's every so often he tries to steer things, but he's the one that brings them up most of the time.
Nowhere close to a residential area. Driving 5 miles per hour, showing my daughter how to drive on a camping site. Trying to make me out to be a bad guy with something like that. When I was
like, this is the thing. We all don't agree with each other all the time. I just thought, you know, people saying, "Oh, Cecil done illegal stuff by doing that, and he should be arrested for it and stuff like that." And I said, everybody does that with their kid. But I thought it was just a little bit careless doing it in a camping ground. Let me just leave it at that. But you know, we don't, even friends, they don't agree with each other all the time. If we agreed with each other all the time, we would actually be in a very boring world. Do you know what I mean? Even, you know, myself in order of magnitude with the paranormal stuff, I didn't agree with everything, and he didn't agree with me with everything. It doesn't mean we're flipping at each other's throats and calling each other names and stuff like that. We kind of agree to disagree kind of thing. Not that there was any beef around any of that shit or anything like that, but sometimes people say things and we just don't agree, and sometimes we do. But we do all agree in one thing in relation to you, and you know what that is, Cecil.
given the chance to be a dad, I hit a home run.
You had a bit of a rocky start though, and you've already explained the rocky start, so why are you bringing that up now? A home run. It didn't start as a home run, did it, Cecil? We already explained it. Cecil, you don't help yourself, do you?
When I met Hetty and she allowed me to be a dad, I was the best dad in the world, and I still am.
Allowed you to be a dad? I'd have to analyse that a little bit further, but that's kind of weird, if you know what I'm saying.
Then you guys even trolled and harassed Xandra's friend, her best friend.
I don't know what you're talking about. You'll probably give a context to it in a minute. Probably won't make any sense. But you asked your daughter and her best friend to come on camera and stand up to you for the allegations of sexual abuse, and your daughter shouldn't know anything about any of this. And you got her best friend to come on, who isn't your daughter. And we tried to say to you, you should not have had her on camera without the permission of that person's mother. And Hetty agreed with us. You weren't too happy with that, were you? Oh, God, Cecil. And then walking into your daughter's bedroom, who doesn't have a door, by the way, and you claim that you do weird things in your sleep. Your wife says you do weird things in your sleep, and your daughter doesn't have a door, and you walk in while on her live stream into her room and invade her privacy. No knocking on the wall or anything like that. You walk straight in and you stick the camera and ask your daughter questions, weird questions about the situation that you got yourself into. Your daughter doesn't have to say anything. Your daughter should not know anything about this. God, this is why social services were kind of involved too, because, you know, a kid of, was it 11, 13, whatever, shouldn't know anything about any of this. This should have been, she should have been protected from this. But it was him, it was CECIL that brought this shit up in front of her. While she's in the room next door with no door on, he's rambling on the internet, calling us all sorts of, you know, swear words and stuff like that, and talking about SA and stuff, where she can hear. It's just, there was concerns for your daughter. Let's just say, let's hear is there any context to this point he's trying to make here?
Because he stayed with us for a while.
Oh yes, the best friend. The best friend, I'm not going to go fully into it, but the best friend had to stay with them for a while. There was family issues on the best friend side, let's just say. I'm not going to go into details because it shouldn't be made public in the first place, and CECIL brought it up. Her private business. What that family was going through. Yeah. Why they're staying with her, we're staying with them, I do not know. It's kind of weird.
You guys are dirty, no good people. You're not good people, period.
I don't know where I heard that before, CECIL. How many more times are you going to call us this?
Period. So keep trying to turn this superstar rapper against me who ain't acknowledging none of us.
Why are you commenting if you know that he's not going to acknowledge you? I just don't make any sense. I don't know this rapper, and I don't really give a shit, but you're ratted because Master Shredder commented under your fucking comment. Fucking very good tracking down, actually, from Master Shredder there. And that got him out of his hiding spot. That's why we're in the situation we are in now. But I don't think he's going to... he's gone back to covering songs and he's ignoring us again. But we'll take the comedy as it comes, if you know what I mean.
All you want, it's not going to do you any good. Just because you found some comments that I had over there that you reply in. You're not even talking to Millie's. You're talking to me under my comment of me talking to Millie's.
How come you're not? You said you weren't acknowledging us and stuff like that. Aren't you doing that now by making this video? I'm just saying.
Because you're not going over there to get his attention. You're going over there to get my attention. Because you can't get it any other way.
Yeah, because you're hiding. You're hiding from accountability by turning off comments and stuff like that, and turning off engagement, because you're hiding from us. And the reason you're hiding from us is because you won't take accountability for the actions you've done, and you accused an 8 and 10-year-old of sexual abuse, the abuse that you've done. You said you didn't. You says I didn't do anything you didn't want me to do. You told me to do. That came from your mouth, you dumbass. On a live stream, I have flipping a copy of it that I done 2 weeks ago on this channel. CECIL, you're not helping yourself, are you? Do you know? This could have been sorted in 1 or 2 videos years ago. And you could have used your childhood as an excuse in some sort of way that, you know, and if you showed any kind of remorse, people would have fucking left you alone. But, you know, you keep just attacking people and accusing other people, especially accusing the victims. That pisses me off. That's why this isn't going away. That's the thing. Where's my mouse? It's on screen too. There we go.
You're exposing yourself. I don't have to do any work to expose you.
That's exactly what we're saying about you. You do all the work for us. It's really easy. You do not have to be fucking Columbo to figure any of this shit out, because you just tell us. And you don't realise that you do.
I've already said everything I needed to say about you people. I've already explained what you are.
Yes, you've told us 100 times that we're demonic ass people, but that doesn't change the fact that you admitted to doing things to children, and you said it on a live stream, and you're trying to blame us for altering that video, which did not happen. Because you didn't get the sympathy at the time, because you accused the victims of assaulting you, and you thought you'd get sympathy. And when that didn't work out for you, because you're 17 and they're 8 and 10. Fucking hell, Cecil. Cecil, when will a penny ever drop that this is not a good situation, that you just should put your hand up and say, I'm sorry and shit, instead of fucking name calling everybody and flipping slandering people? You might be in deep shit with Masters or with random news at this point, and you're not going to win. It's up to random news whether he does that or not. And did he slander Master Shredder today? What happens if you land in court? Cecil's just going to have to put his hand up and say, yeah, I said that shit. Don't say it in the first place, donkey ass.
What else can you do? Find more comments to leave a reply under to get it.
You gotta be in your bonnet by these comments. You're really pissed that you got found out. That you can't go anywhere without being fucking found. I don't know how he got found, but gee, man, it was fucking good detective work. He's fucking mad. It's so funny. He thought he'd sneak around the internet in secret, and then he gets found out and he's pissed about it. Oh, fucking hell. He's ranting like hell. This is mild compared to what he sometimes comes out with.
Another video that you might not get. You're just not good people. You guys are not good people. You guys...
Thanks for repeating that again, because I didn't hear it the first time.
Are a group of cancel culture people who lie on people so you can laugh about it.
And many times have you lied on this video, Cecil, that we can actually prove. Fucking hell. This is kind of propaganda, but nobody's listening to him that's actually supporting him. It's just us listening to him. He's kind of preaching to the choir. We actually know what the story is, and he's trying to tell us that, you know, what we're thinking is bad and what he's thinking is good. We know he lies all the fucking time. We know him, you know, we know him for years at this point.
Laugh about their reactions, and then when they make reactions like I'm doing right now, you're going to take this video and you're...
Yes. Sorry, I clicked it at the wrong time. Go on. Say what you had to say there.
Reactions, and then when they make reactions like I'm doing right now, you're going to take this video and you're going to react to this video and say what you got to say about this video. It's stupid content. There's no fucking value in the content that you're making.
That's
You just
exactly.
want me to say something that's going to allow you to burn me with what I say.
That's exactly what's happening. See, so you know that you're learning. You know exactly that we're going to take this video. And the reason why you made this video is because we didn't react to you for a long, long time. We should just doing covering songs. But the problem didn't go away. So you done this video so you could get attention from us again. Why would you want to get attention from us when we're trying to call you out for your crimes and stuff? You see, you ignoring us for 6 months was a strategy of yours, but you've actually broken that strategy by actually coming out with this video and ranting and raving and doing what you're doing right now. I mean, like, you've broken your silence. Do you know what I mean? You wanted us to fucking react to your video for some fucking weird reason. That's what we're doing now, actually. So, you're welcome.
Because that's all the content you got of me. Is where I was talking about things in the past, and you manipulated the videos to make it sound bad.
I thought you said you lied on that video too. And then you're sleepwalking? Was it all the excuses altogether, or was some of the excuses just pure bullshit? You were throwing things at the wall to see what would stick. So you came up with a umpteen different excuses for that video, including it was my childhood testimony and I was talking about somebody else, not you. You were talking about somebody else's story, or you lied in the video. Why would you put yourself in the position of being a child abuser and lie about that? That doesn't make any sense, Cecil. And then all the excuses contradict each other. I've already said that.
To make it sound nasty. To make it sound like I was a creep.
You are a creep. I proved it a couple of years ago. Or that rapper's girlfriend that came on and done her video, she proved it. Again, don't like bringing that video up because I was flipping upset and angry with that. Fuck me. She was in pain. My heart really went out to that girl. Fuck me. Apparently he was staring at her kind of funny as well and catcalling her, and she's 15. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, like, the main crimes happened when he was 17, 21 or whatever. 17 to 21 or whatever. But there's loads of evidence of him still being a creep. Work colleagues, that girl, going into playgrounds, fucking looking for treasure with a metal detector in a new playground. Yeah, no. Armed to the teeth and looking like Rambo at the same time, with 2 fucking guns strapped to his fucking waist, with a metal detector in a fucking kid's playground. We said it's not a good look. He said, don't do that shit. And then you call us retards for calling you out for it.
That's all you do. You wait for me to make a video talking about something that you can alter and make it sound nasty.
But I'm not altering the video. I'm not reacting to your video. That's what Order of Magnitude used to do too. So stop talking bollocks. You're talking about Random Use again. He's not going to take all your video. He's going to take the crucial parts of that video, and he's going to counter-argue what you're saying with your previous videos. That's what he does, Cecil. And he gets you every time. You can't counter-argue Random Use's real videos. You can only go for the parodies. We're not dumb, Cecil. You seem to think that this is propaganda, that these parodies are put out as real facts. You don't read the description, do you? You should read the description. You know what a parody is. We try to explain to Cecil what a parody is. He doesn't seem to understand it. Was it marked on the video somewhere too? And I think he mentioned it and that. But he doesn't understand what a parody is. But he tried to use that as evidence that Random Use lies. and manipulates what he says and stuff like that when it's a parody, but refuse to counter-argue the counter-arguments that you come up with in videos where random users use a past video to contradict what you've just said. Because you contradict yourself all the time, and random users point you out, points it out to you. He's trying to help you here, but you won't counter-argue the real parts of those videos because you can't. It's a slam dunk. It's your voice all the time. It's not altered voices. We don't fuck with your voice. We don't chop up your videos. I'm not chopping up your videos. I'm reacting to your voice in real time. I'm not even putting in my funny clips in this video. So, what are you going to do about that?
So you can put it out to the people, so you can make them think that you're a good person talking about a bad person.
I don't give a shit if people call me good person or bad person. I'm just exposing you for your bullshit. And I don't really have to say very much, but I do for, fair use purposes. I don't have to say anything. When I put out the videos about, the confession videos and all the other videos that other people have documented and stored, thankfully, I didn't say anything in those videos. I left the videos as they are because I don't have to say anything. You said it all. Unaltered. Most of them were live. They were not altered at all. I don't have to commentate on those videos. The videos speak for themselves. I don't want to be accused of fucking butting in at certain points and altering the narrative of the video by talking. Because they're very important videos. The videos speak for themselves. The videos that you spoke on, that you were on, that you fucking said, and you admitted to doing things. What are you going to do when you're two little hot girls you think was hot at the time? They were 8 and 10 and you were 17, Cecil. Mother of God. That wasn't even the confession video. That was a different video. That was you backing up the confession video. This is not the confession video. Did you say it was highly altered and stuff like that? This was you backing that video up with that rant. Along with 10-year-olds are fully developed and stuff. That was a completely different video from that again. You mean to tell us that we altered all of those videos? And there's loads of them, there's hundreds. We don't have that kind of time. There's absolutely no way we would fuck around with evidence of child abuse. That is a fucked up thing to do. We wouldn't do that. That's fucked up. There's no way. It means that if we fucked around with videos and this guy, the victims, brings this guy up in court for that, and the evidence is altered, those victims will not get their justice. We want justice for the victims. Not you coming on the internet and fucking turning those victims into villains and you into a victim. That's what pisses me the fuck off, Cecil. And I know I'm not going to get a huge amount of views on this video because most people are looking at the Scientology stuff. But I'm still going to bring you up, Cecil, because you're not going to hide from us. You're not just going to fucking let this die away, because we won't.
Anybody can make content like that. Anybody can target somebody who ain't bothering you.
Says the guy that is bothering his critics by calling them retards and fucktards and all kinds of tards. As I said, CeCIL, you don't really think before you open your big gob, do you? But you just keep contradicting yourself, even with small shit.
But you're going to say that I'm trolling you now because I called you a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. No, this is...
You called me more than a piece of shit, actually. You called all of us more than a piece of shit, you know what I mean? You called us cheese pizzas, all of us. The cheese pizza things that you admitted to doing, that we're not happy about, and you're not happy that we're not happy about it. That's what happens. You fuck around, you find out.
All in response to the shit you were saying to me on Millie's page. Are you guys that afraid that I'm going to get some type of opportunity and blow up?
No. No, I don't think so, CeCIL, because if you go on your channel, I can't listen to your songs. Do you know, if it makes you happy, fucking fair enough and that, but you know when you sing some of the songs that are higher pitched, it kind of sounds like a dog that's been kicked or something. That's the best way I could describe it and that. Are you going to tell me that you're going to be fucking famous again like you did a couple of years ago and you were going to fucking laugh at us and we're not going to be anywhere near your mind and you're going to be living your life? And then, you know, there was another time too where you decided you were going to go gold prospecting and you were going to be rich and you were going to have a fucking fantastic life and we're going to be stuck in our poor world or whatever, and you're still in the same place and you're still in the same position, you're still doing your kitchen rants and stuff like that. Nothing's changed, CeCIL. I mean, like, what's gone wrong here? How come you're not famous like you said you were going to be?
If that opportunity ever comes, I'm going to be so unstoppable, you'll never even get a video like this every 5 to 6 months.
No, what happens is if you became famous as a singer, which isn't going to happen because people that sound like a cat that got a kick isn't going to be famous. I mean, like, you're kind of talking like Serous now. Serous tries to be a rap star and a drift king that just drives on the computer and stuff, and I think your expectations is a wee bit too high there, if you know what I mean. But you know, a dream's a dream, I suppose. But the thing is, if you became a famous, just say overnight you got a massive contract to make albums and become famous, do you know what's going to bite you in the ass? Your confession of doing things to an 8 and 10-year-old when you were 17, along with the incident with your cousin's kid that you eventually had to run out of the house because this little girl kept coming on to you when you were 21 or something like that. I better not say too much because I didn't get the age. I can't remember the ages and that, but it was a similar incident. All that's going to bite you in the ass, and that confession video is going to come up and it's going to go all over the flipping. If you were famous, it would be all over the flipping news and the newspapers, and you would have more people criticising you than just us, let's just say. Then things would not be good. So you're kind of fucked there, CECIL. All over one video, one live stream on YouTube, and then trying to fucking back up that live stream. Yeah. This is how one live stream can ruin your life.
Get a life, dude. Get a life. Make real content. Because what y'all are doing now is stupid, and it ain't going nowhere.
In fact, Cecil, to be honest with you, I am making content, and you know what happened in the last 2 weeks? I over doubled my subscribers. As well as that, I do have a paranormal channel. You know about that one, Cecil. So don't say I just make content about you. I haven't in a while.
It's not cute. Your little troll friends don't think it's cute either. You guys literally united in the name of hating on people on YouTube, that as long as you're talking shit about the same person that y'all united in the name of hating on, even if you guys ain't even agreeing with each other, as long as you're saying something bad about that person, all of y'all will agree with it, even if you're contradicting what you're saying.
No. We don't agree with each other all the time, Cecil. That's the thing. But we're united with our cause, if you know what I mean. We're standing up for the victims. Some of us know the victims, some of us don't. I actually don't know the victims at all. But I've been campaigning for them for years. Doesn't matter if I know them or not. I'm still going to stand up for them because they're being accused of sexual assault by you who sexually assaulted them. That's not... No. And where I found it was, started off with Order of Magnitude. He was doing paranormal content. Then he started talking about you, and I thought, this isn't paranormal content. I'm going to sit out this one or whatever. You know what I mean? And then more and more stuff came out about you, and I went, this isn't good. And then we got into a spat over a comment. You know, it was about guns or something. And then you started calling me names, and then I fought back, and then it was a big spat there, and then you blocked me, and then I made a channel. That's how that happened.
Stupid. Bunch of fake-ass friends in the name of cancel culture.
No, people don't like child abusers, Cecil. That's the problem, you know what I mean? Yeah, we don't like that shit. We especially don't like people that, you know, are we don't like people that accuse those little victims that were children at the time of child abuse when they were the victims. It's really fucked up, Cecil. That's why we don't sort of like you, if you know what I mean. You know, that's your major problem here. Along with being kind of dumb and stupid and you know, talking a load of shit, some of that is funny. I admit that. But this other stuff is fucking really bad. That's why we're not leaving you alone. You know, there's a serious point to all this.
Idiots. Idiots. You motherfuckers don't have no lives, bro.
Are you going to continue insulting us and think that this has any effect on any of us? I mean, like, I'm going to finish this video. I'm going to have a big cry about that because Cecil has called us names over and over again for a solid 18 minutes and 27 seconds. And it crushed my heart. Get over yourself, Cecil, for fuck's sake.
You can't have lives that have this much time on YouTube messing with people so you can giggle about it.
Well, you fucked up my day when I have to fucking react to this. I want to get outside and touch grass here. Hurry up, Cecil.
And say that someone's a bad person.
Well, don't do bad things. That's the thing. Don't do those bad things. You know, take responsibility for your actions as well, Cecil. But the thing is, the stories just keep coming and coming. But ex-employees coming forward and saying, that guy was a fucking creep. Do you know? You can't hold a job because people are creeped out by you, by your flipping behaviour. It's kind of weird, Cecil. Do you know, coming on and trying to make new friends by saying, I'm getting trolled online and people are calling me a child molester. That's not a great introduction to invite new friends. They're going to run a mile from you, and they do, and then you wonder why. People don't... Cecil, that's not normal, if you know what I mean. God almighty, do you not think they don't go home and fucking look you up on the internet and then they see all our videos on you? You know, and then they come in the next morning and their attitude towards you is kind of changed because they've been really, really shocked about what they found out about you on the Interpols. Yeah, you brought it to their attention in the first place. I mean, you don't think, do you?
Tell them why you have haters, Cecil.
I have haters because I'm great at things.
There's you fucking putting yourself on a pedestal again. You're starting to sound like Aaron Smith-Levin. Oh my God. Cecil, I'll tell you one thing that you're not great at. You're not great at defending yourself because all you've done is called us names. But actually, you're very good at calling names. You're great at calling people names. So, you know, well done.
Because people see greatness in me that you're afraid that I'm going to blow up behind.
What people? What people? It's not your family, because you're throwing most of your family under the bus. It's not your work colleagues. It's not your work colleagues, because you've already told your work colleagues, I'm getting trolled on the internet and being called a child molester. And then you wonder why they're not talking to you. What friends? You don't have fans because you don't turn on comments, so you don't have a following on YouTube. What people, Cecil? You need to start... You're not making sense here.
That's why I have haters. I have haters.
No, you have haters because people don't like child abusers, Cecil, that accuse their victims of child abuse on you, who done. You are the you're the person that done the things, not these other children. And you're blaming them, and you've swapped roles. You've turned yourself into the victim, and you turned the victim into the villains. I said it already. It makes me angry, actually. There's nothing to joke about that. I fucking hate that shit.
Haters because I've talked about personal shit about my childhood that you guys are trying to make people think is relevant to my life as a 45-year-old man.
So you admitted that you made the video. That's great, Cecil. Cecil's a complicated person, if you know what I mean. He's trying to distance himself about this video, and then he associates himself with the video. He's now saying that this is a childhood testimony and that, yeah, but your childhood testimony was all about your babysitting when you were 15, 16, 17, you're living with your aunt. I can nearly say it all by fucking heart at this point. Yeah, you were babysitting an 8 and 10-year-old and you were 17 and you were doing sexual shit for years with one of these girls. Some childhood testimony, Cecil, I just have to say. Cecil, you don't think, do you? Why don't you just put your hand up and say, you know, I did these things and have some sort of remorse? But then again, I wouldn't sort of believe your remorse because you haven't showed any in the last number of years. Except just fucking attacking us.
Y'all are idiots, dude. Straight dumb.
When did you tell us that before? Many times in this video. I think he's ran out of steam here. I know by the tone of voice, and we've got 18 seconds left.
You take 10 to 12 years of videos, crop them all together and make up stories. Random news. You're an idiot.
No, that's what we're trying to tell you, Cecil. You contradict yourself. You tend to forget that what you say contradicts what you've done in the past, or what you've done in the past, or what you said in the past contradicts what you. He's just bringing them together, and he does a really, really good job. Actually, it's fucking. If that was evidence in court, it's a slam dunk. Cecil. You can't argue it, and you pretended that you tried. And you took the easy way out and flipping tried to debunk a parody, which was flipping, fictionalized content. The rest of the video, outside the palate cheese, the palate cleanser, was the real stuff, and it was fucking serious, and you couldn't argue it, so you avoided it. I've seen you doing it.
Idiot. Y'all are dumb.
Thank you. And that's it. There's no bye or anything like that. He's very rude, Cecil. There you go. That's basically it. Do you know? And it's just the same cycle of nonsense. Now, I understand some people on this channel are not too familiar with Cecil, but I'll leave a link at the end of this video to Random News. I actually have a playlist on my channel of Random News' Cecil videos, and he has a personality. He has the comedic personality to. His productions is really, really good, and he brings up a lot of stuff that we can't get our hands on now, because Cecil tries to hide some of the stuff that he says by deleting videos. Random News must have most of them at this point, because he just keeps bringing up. He keeps slam dunking them every time, and that's why Cecil is so flipping mad with him, like. Because, I mean, he does get views. He should have hundreds of thousands of subscribers at this point. But, I think he likes to, he's keeping on the same path, because the path that he's on is actually standing up for the name of Kanika Jenkins and these J4K conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and then Cecil just happened to land in the middle of it, and then he finds out, Jesus, he done all this stuff completely separate from the Kanika Jenkins conspiracies and stuff like that. And next thing, there was more and more. Cecil was rambling and raving and stuff like that, and then attacking Random News and stuff like that, and there was just more content to be made. More contradictions, more lies, all exposed, and it's all put into a nice package of usually about an hour each, kind of thing. So feel free to have a look at those. I have his playlist on Cecil, and I'll leave it at the end of this video as well. So feel free if you want to have a look at that. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you very soon. Hopefully. Bye.
And quit talking about the rabbit hole guy. That dude is a fat, sloppy, ugly, stinking ass motherfucker who sits around shitting on himself all day.
If you can't tell, Krusty got your boy big mad.
Go and fuck yourself.